Proper fastener installation. Correct fastener installation is one of the most critical steps when installing panels. Drive the fastener in until it's tight and the washer is firmly seated. Do not over-tighten fasteners. A slight extrusion of neoprene around the washer is a good visual tightness check. When a screw is over-tightened and the washer blows out, replace the screw with a new one. Remember, always sweep metal filings from the surface of panels at the end of each work period. Rusty filings will destroy the paint finish and void any warranty. Always refer to your Mueller installation instructions for proper screw pattern and placement. Wall sheeting installation. Installation of the wall sheets should be completed before the roof sheets are installed. Before starting the wall sheet installation, confirm that the eave channels and wall girts are straight. It's also very important to make sure all door jambs and columns are plumb and level before applying the wall sheets. Each individual wall should be checked for level right before sheeting is begun. Once the sheet iron is applied, the walls become very rigid and virtually impossible to plumb. Wall panel screw alignment. Good alignment of the screws, especially on the wall panels, will give a professional appearance to the wall installation. One way this can be accomplished is by pre-drilling holes in the panels at identical locations to create a repetitive screw pattern on the wall. All of the panels for one entire wall can be stacked together and drilled using a template panel. The template panel should be laid out for proper screw locations in accordance with the building erection drawings, keeping in mind the panels will be raised 1 inch from the bottom of the base channel. Since pre-drilling will hand the panels, it will be necessary to select the corner of the building from which the paneling is to begin. Before drilling the template panel, it should be checked for proper hole locations against the building framework. After drilling just the template panel, again place it against the frame, making sure the hole locations are correct. Be sure there is no excessive deflection of the eave channel and girts. The template panel should be placed on the stack, and the bottom edge of the stack should be flush and held in place with clamps or vice grips. The wall sheets for that particular wall can now be drilled using your template. This process will be repeated on each additional wall. It's important to clean off metal filings from panel surfaces after drilling to avoid future rust stains. Before installing the first panel, note the difference between self-tapping screws, which are designed to penetrate framing, and lap-tech screws, which are only intended to drill through sheet metal. Make sure you have the proper screw type before attempting to attach your first sheets. The next step is placement of the inside closures for the bottom of the wall sheets. Start the beginning closure 2 inches up from the bottom of the base channel, with the high centered at the same location that the first wall sheet is supposed to be centered. This starting place can differ depending on the building being erected. See the written instructions for your particular building. Place a second closure, making sure to maintain the proper sheet coverage with the closure placement. Repeat this along the entire wall. Wall sheet coverage is on 3-foot centers. The base channel and eave channel can be marked on 3-foot centers for a visual reference to keep closures and sheets on center while sheeting is applied. Position the first panel on the structure with the starting rib placed as directed in the written instructions, making sure that it's plumb and nesting properly into the lower closures. The panel should also be raised 1 inch from the bottom of the base as shown on the installation instructions. Now install the fasteners according to the erection drawings. The next panel is now lapped, leveled, and attached with the appropriate fasteners. This is repeated until the entire wall is complete. As each wall is completed, the temporary bracing for that wall may be removed. Tips. The following tips will make the erection of your Mueller building a little easier and more attractive. When installing both wall and roof sheets, do not apply pressure to the rib when installing the screws, as this will cause the sheet to expand in width and cause the sheet iron to run out of square, getting progressively worse with each sheet. Check often for proper coverage and alignment. Start the sheeting process at the opposite end from which the building will be most commonly viewed. This will provide a clean look on the walls by putting the lap on the away side. If a concrete slab is used, the sheets should never rest directly on a concrete sheeting ledge or base trim. A 1/8 inch spacer will help keep the wall sheets off these areas until the screws can be applied. When necessary, backlapping wall panels is routinely done to match panel coverage with the building width and length. On the sidewall, this is done with the last panel installed. On the end wall, this is normally done at the center. The appropriate lap location will be marked on the erection drawings.